Starford Chashi breaks silence, the real truth about Harry Kalaba everyone's missing. While Zambia's political scene heats up at home, Starford Chashi has made waves from the diaspora. In a powerful statement, he publicly defended Harry Kalaba, challenging critics and shaking the political narrative. Tonight, we reveal exactly what Chashi said, why it matters, and what this could mean for Kalaba's influence in Zambia's political future. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. We're back with you after an eventful week in Zambian politics, and trust me when I say, today's story is one you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Our lead story today, Starford Chashi breaks his silence. Picture this, a seasoned politician, a man who once stood shoulder to shoulder with opposition leaders, now sits before cameras, his face lined with the weight of what he's about to reveal. For months, whispers have echoed through the corridors of power in Lusaka. Rumors of secret meetings. Allegations of betrayal. Claims of a man who built his reputation on ideals, only to allegedly auction them to the highest bidder. But who is really telling the truth? Is this the unraveling of a political alliance built on shaky ground? Or is it the calculated dismantling of a man who dared to challenge the status quo? When a former government minister speaks out against his own party leader, is it courage or is it conspiracy? And when accusations fly in both directions, who do we believe? The accuser with receipts? Or the accused with rebuttals? What happens when trust shatters inside a political movement that promised change? When the reformer becomes the accused, and the whistleblower is labeled a traitor? What does it mean for a nation watching from the sidelines, waiting for heroes but finding only human beings tangled in ambition, ego, and survival? These are not easy questions. And today, we're diving deep into one of the most explosive political confrontations in recent Zambian history. Factual foundation. The revelation came to light in a series of stunning public statements made by Starford Chashi, former Minister of Transport and Communications under the United Party for National Development, UPND, government and a senior leader within the Citizens First, CF, party. This is a story rooted in Zambia's opposition landscape, a space where alliances are fragile and ambition runs high. Harry Kalaba, once a key figure in the ruling Patriotic Front, PF. Under President Edgar Lungu, left the PF in 2018 to form his own political party, the Citizens First. His departure was dramatic, principled, he said, driven by a need for ethical leadership and a break from the corruption and autocracy he claimed had consumed the PF. Starford Chashi joined Kalaba's movement, bringing credibility, experience, and a shared vision of reform. But beneath the surface of that partnership, cracks were forming. The first public signs of trouble emerged late in 2024, when whispers circulated of internal dissatisfaction within Citizens First. By early 2025, those whispers became shouts. Chashi, in a press briefing held in Lusaka on January 10, 2026, made a series of damning allegations against Kalaba, claims that have since ignited fierce debate across Zambia's political spectrum. Chashi's accusations were not vague. He alleged that Harry Kalaba had been secretly negotiating with the ruling UPND, despite publicly positioning himself as opposition. Worse, Chashi claimed Kalaba had received financial inducements from the government, effectively, that he had been bought. Chashi also accused Kalaba of sidelining senior party members, running Citizens First as a personal project rather than a democratic institution, and most explosively, of using party resources for personal gain. The timeline is critical. Chashi stated that his concerns began in mid-2024, when he noticed Kalaba taking private meetings with senior UPND officials. By October 2024, Chashi says he confronted Kalaba directly. The response, according to Chashi, was dismissive. By December, Chashi had made up his mind, he would go public. And on January 10, 2026, he did. Direct evidence. Let's hear directly from Starford Chashi. These are his words, delivered at the press conference in Lusaka. I stand before you today not as a man seeking attention, but as a citizen who can no longer remain silent. For months, I have watched, I have questioned, and I have tried to understand what happened to the man I believed in. The man I stood with when we left the PF. The man who told us we were building something different. But what I discovered, it has left me heartbroken. And I say heartbroken because when you trust someone, when you believe in their vision, and then you see that vision compromised, not by external forces, but by the very person who articulated it, what are you supposed to do? Stay quiet? Pretend everything is fine? I cannot. He continued. Harry Kalaba has been meeting with senior UPND officials. And I'm not talking about courtesy visits or public engagements. I'm talking about private, undisclosed meetings. Meetings that were never brought to the party's National Executive Committee. Meetings that, when I asked about them, I was told to, quote, stay in my lane. A journalist pressed him, Mr. Chashi, are you saying Harry Kalaba has been compromised by the UPND? Chashi paused, then responded. I'm saying that when a man who claims to be opposition starts behaving like he's on the payroll of the government, you have to ask questions. And when those questions are met with hostility and secrecy, you have to ask even louder. Did he receive money? I believe so. Can I prove every transaction? Not yet. But I know what I've seen. I know the lifestyle changes. I know the new cars, the new properties. And I know that in politics, when someone's circumstances improve dramatically without a clear source of income, there are usually strings attached. Another reporter asked, what about your own position in the party? Are you not also benefiting? Chashi's response was sharp. I have been sidelined. Do you know what it's like to be a senior member of a party and to find out about major decisions through WhatsApp rumors? To be excluded from meetings? To be told your input isn't needed? That's what's been happening. And it's not just me. There are others. Good people who joined Citizens First because they believed in something better. And now they're watching it become exactly what we left behind. He ended his statement with this. So, to Harry Kalaba, I say this publicly, prove me wrong. Open the books. Show us the finances. Show us who you've been meeting with and why. If I'm mistaken, I'll apologize. But if I'm right, then Zambia deserves to know. Deeper analysis. The implications of Chashi's allegations are profound, not just for Harry Kalaba and Citizens First, but for Zambia's opposition politics as a whole. First, let's consider the political context. Zambia's opposition is fragmented. The PF, once dominant, is weakened and in disarray. The UPND, now in power, has consolidated its position. Smaller parties like Citizens First exist in a precarious space, too small to win alone, too proud to dissolve. In this environment, allegations of compromise or co-option are particularly damaging. If Chashi's claims are true, it would mean that Kalaba, who built his brand on anti-corruption and principled leadership, has betrayed the very values he espoused. It would also suggest that the UPND is actively working to neutralize opposition not through debate, but through inducement. This raises serious questions about the health of Zambia's democracy. Legal experts have weighed in. Dr. Mumbai Firai, a constitutional lawyer based in Lusaka, told the Zambian Observer. If there is evidence of financial impropriety, particularly involving public funds or undisclosed foreign transactions, then this is a matter for the Anti-Corruption Commission. But allegations alone are not enough. We need documentation. We need proof. Political analyst Chandam Whale offered a different perspective. This is a classic case of political infighting. Chashi feels sidelined, so he's lashing out. It doesn't mean Kalaba is corrupt. It means their relationship has broken down. And in Zambian politics, when relationships break down, accusations follow. But others see it differently. Opposition activist Thandai Wangoma said, "We've seen this pattern before. A leader emerges, promises change, and then quietly makes peace with the system. If Chashi is right, Kalaba is just another politician who sold out. And that's devastating for those of us who still believe change is possible." Harry Kalaba has denied the allegations. In a brief statement released on January 11, he called Chashi's claims baseless and politically motivated. He did not, however, provide detailed rebuttals or open financial records. And that silence is telling. Because in the court of public opinion, silence can be as damning as confession. So where does this leave us? We have a former minister and senior party member making explosive allegations. We have a party leader denying them without offering proof. And we have a nation watching, wondering who to believe. The truth, as always, is probably more complicated than either side wants to admit. But what is not complicated is this: Zambia deserves leaders who are transparent, accountable, and genuinely committed to the people's welfare. Not leaders who play games behind closed doors. Thank you for watching this edition of InspirAfrica Official. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is Starford Chashi a courageous whistleblower, or a disgruntled politician? Is Harry Kalaba a compromised leader, or a victim of internal sabotage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories, more analysis, and more truth-seeking. Until then, stay informed, stay critical, and stay engaged. This is Nakash, signing off.